Now, let's move on to creating the corresponding indicators. The definition capabilities within the Indicators Center are fundamentally built upon the FineBI function system. This means that all calculation scenarios in the Indicators Center are implemented using BI functions. From a functional perspective, indicators offer two definition methods. The first is a visual method, where you define indicators directly by filtering fields. The second method involves defining formulas using functions. As a general principle, we recommend prioritizing the visual method for definition primarily for the following advantages. First, visual configuration offers better usability and is more conducive to long-term maintenance. Second, the visual interface encapsulates the most performance-optimized function syntax, ensuring both calculation accuracy and optimal performance for the indicators. So for the subsequent indicator creation, we will primarily demonstrate how to define indicators using the visual method. Let's start with the sales indicator. This indicator originates from the total contract value field in the contract fact table. Now let's navigate to indicator management. Similarly, we'll create a new folder named Analysis of Goal Completion for better organization and management. Within this folder, we'll proceed to add our first indicator, sales. As usual, we can include a data description for this indicator. Since this is a relatively simple atomic indicator, we will directly choose field as the calculation method. Then we select the total contract amount field from the contract fact table. Next, we choose sum for the summary method. With that, our sales indicator is calculated and created. In the preview interface, we can verify the data. For example, by adding the salesperson dimension here. The interface will now display the sales for each individual salesperson. Now, let's create the second indicator, the sales target achievement rate. This is defined as sales divided by the sales target from the sales target table. Since this is a calculated indicator, we will add it under the Analysis of Goal Completion folder as well. We'll name it Sales Target Achievement Rate and add a data description to help users understand its purpose. As this indicator pulls data from two different tables, we need to define it using the formula method. First, for the sales, we can directly reference the indicator we just created. The target comes from the sales target field in the sales target fact table. An important note here. The sales target field in this context is detailed data. So we need to wrap it with the SUMAG function to convert it into an aggregated indicator. However, the sales indicator, since it was defined earlier using the visual field method, already encapsulates an aggregation function. We do not need to add SUMAG to it. In fact, if we try to add SUMAG around it, the system will prompt an error. This demonstrates that an indicator built via the visual filtering method is itself an aggregated function. Finally, click OK. With that, our sales target achievement rate indicator is also successfully created. Now, let's create the third indicator, the year-on-year monthly sales target achievement rate. This is a derived indicator. We choose Add Indicator and define it using the visual method. Actually, since we have already calculated the sales target achievement rate, we can directly calculate its year-over-year value for the same period. For the calculation method, select Field and then choose the sales target achievement rate indicator we just created. For the derivation method here, we select Comparison with same or previous period. For the time basis field, we select our previously created common dimension, date year month. For the calculation type, select same period year. With that, our year-on-year monthly sales target achievement rate indicator is now successfully created. Then click OK. Next, we need to perform data validation. We can drag the sales target achievement rate indicator into the workspace for checking. Click Preview Data. Here we can see, for example, the January 2024 equals the value from January 2023. Now, let us proceed to calculate the next indicator, year-to-date sales. This belongs to a cumulative calculation within derived indicators. So how do we add this indicator? The data description for year-to-date sales is the cumulative sales amount from the beginning of the year up to the current month. We can directly select the already created sales indicator. Then for the derivation method, choose cumulative time. The time basis field is also our common dimension, date year month. Since it has the year-to-date cumulative amount, we can directly set the time range to so far this year. Then click OK. Next we should perform data validation to check if it meets our expectations. Let us drag the sales indicator in for verification, and click Preview Data. We can see that the year-to-date sales amount for January 2023 equals the sales amount for January. The cumulative amount for February equals the sum of January and February sales, which aligns with our expectation. Now, let's proceed to calculate the fifth indicator, current year sales target. This is necessary because to calculate the year-to-date sales target achievement rate, we need both the year-to-date cumulative sales amount and the total sales target for the year. So we need to first calculate the sum of the sales targets for the current year. We will add a new indicator named current year sales target. Its data description is the sum of sales targets for the current year. Again, we will define it using the visual method. The source field we select is sales target, from the sales target fact table. For the summary method, choose sum. Then for the derivation method, select cumulative time. The time basis field is our common dimension, date year month. And the time range should be set to this year. Finally, click OK. We can also preview the data to verify. We can observe that, for each month within the same year, the sales target sum remains the same, which aligns with our expectation. Now, let's calculate the final indicator, the year-to-date sales target achievement rate. This rate is defined as the year-to-date sales divided by the current year sales target. Since we have already defined both of these component indicators, we can simply divide one by the other using the formula method. First, select these two indicators. The formula will be year-to-date sales divided by current year sales target. We can also perform data validation directly within the formula editor interface. Here, let us select all the content in the formula. Choose the date dimension. Then also drag the two component indicators, year-to-date sales and current year sales target, into the validation area. Let us verify whether the result of dividing these two indicators aligns with our expectations. A quick glance confirms the data looks correct, indicating our metric definition is accurate. We can then click OK. At this point, all the indicators and dimensions we need have been successfully defined.